All right, we are
All
live.
right. Hey, folks, Pam back from Down for Paws this week. So, this week, I know the past few weeks I've been talking really about dog behaviors and how to, manage those and training and stuff like that. But this week, I want to talk about where to start, and that's what how to find a good dog trainer that fits your
Yeah.
family. Because there's so many different trainers out there, training styles. Different personalities, different backgrounds. So I just kind of want to go through what to look for if you're looking for a trainer and certain things you can ask a trainer and things like that. Um, oops, there we go, little faux pas here. All right. Gotcha. All right. So the first thing you want to decide when you're looking for the trainer is, do you want a trainer?
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, most folks before they reach out for a trainer, they try to find and see if they can do it themselves, do it themselves, and which is completely fine. A lot of times when people reach out to a trainer, it's not because they can't do it themselves. I often find that they need some type of structure behind what they're doing. So just some type of guidance and stuff. And so that's what I'm there for as a trainer, just to provide structure behind training that your dog may need. Um, Also, one thing to kind of talk to folks about too is the dog training and trainer industry is not like a regulated industry. And what I mean by that is that anyone can kind of pick up a business card and become a dog trainer.
Oh,
Yeah. And so when you're reaching out for trainers, you kind of want to look for certain things. You want to talk to them and learn a little bit more about their background, their experiences, their education, and based on what your dog's needs are, you kind of want to talk to them and see if it's the right fit for your family. Um, so what you're actually looking for, so there's different types of trainers and different types of style of, no, actually, there's different styles of
yeah.
training which different trainers have. So for instance, for instance, I do positive reinforcement training. And what that means is that I use praise, a lot of, yes, encouragement and things like that, toys as rewards. So a lot of praise like that. There's also trainers who may use something called in dog training world is called positive punishment. But ideally, what that is add in some form of like punishment. So whether you're saying no to a dog, or you may hear certain people use shock collars or prong collars and things like that. Those are things. Those are punishment. Not saying any. Not saying positive or not saying positive reinforcement or punishment is bad, but there are benefits to each one. So you just want to take a peek at, the different training styles and see which one best fits what you're looking for and basically what your dog needs.
Yeah.
Um, Also, you want to make sure to look at the trainer's website. Make sure that even though they're dog training, make sure they specialize or they do the training that you need. So, for example, if you have a dog that is reactive on leash, that means just lunging on leash and stuff like that. If you go to a website and you see that a trainer just does basic obedience, or they may not have that skill, not saying that they can't do it, but maybe you want to look for a website where they say, okay, my focus is on making sure, you have a happy walk with leash reactive dogs. So just making sure you really comb through the trainer's website, making sure they have the specialty that your dog may need. So that's another tip as well.
Yeah.
Um, and Scott, I know you have a dog. Have you gotten training for your dog at all, or any type of
Yeah,
training?
we did a bunch of rounds of obedience and that sort of thing after puppy class, and now we do.
Mm-hmm.
We did some when he got reactive, some training to help out with that, and now we
Yep.
do weekly agility as well. So different
Yep.
levels of training. Sometimes I know you mentioned sometimes once in a while it's for sports or like that's or agility. Other times you run into issues with like reactivity, and you need to find
Yep.
training to help you with that. And initially, it was just like mental challenge for obedience, and really just he's a big guy, he's 80 pounds, so
Oh
we
wow,
want
I didn't
we
know he
want
was
to be able
that
to
big.
yeah, we want to be able to work with him and not have him
Yep.
drag us all around. And so obedience
Mm-hmm.
was a big deal for when we first got him, and as he
Yep.
grew into 1 year and two, just because, and also just that weekly mental stimulation, working in group classes or privates are a big
Yes.
deal, right? So always being
Yep.
able to challenge him mentally was a big deal. And like you've mentioned, there's like a bunch of different reasons for getting training, and it's just
Mm.
it's always figuring out who a lot of times it's word of mouth, a lot of times it's research,
Yeah,
and a lot of times
absolutely.
it's just sort of figuring out what kind of training you want to work with. For us specifically,
Mhm.
we found that positive training is the one that we really want to work with, just for the
Yep.
quality of life that we want him to have, and just
Hmm.
for how we are as people. Like, we're not into punishment and all those different things, but we're
Hmm.
positive. It just, we want to build that relationship with our dog, right? So it's a
Exactly.
big deal.
Yeah. Yep. And again, going back to when you reach out, just asking them, what's your training style? Is it positive reinforcement? Do you use prong collars? Do you use so just asking those questions. And you're absolutely right about the classes. And so that's another thing I was going to talk about, asking the trainer. So aside from asking them about their specialty and whether it's perfect for your dog, ask them, do they run group classes, especially for the younger dogs? Because again, socialization is very important. So whether you're going to do some type of in-home training, doing some type of group classes is good for socialization and making sure they're not like scared and fearful, and that when they go out into the world that they think is a wonderful place. So absolutely, if you're if your trainer does have classes, that ideally would be a good fit too.
Yeah.
um, Far as back to what you're saying, where to find these trainers. So
Yeah.
number one, a lot of folks, ask your friends. Ask your friends. If your friends have dogs and they worked with a trainer and you trust your friend, most likely you're going to trust the trainer that they work with. So just reaching out to your friends and asking them about the trainer. Also, if your dog goes to like a doggy daycare, pet sitters, pet walkers, asking them, because usually they either have someone on board or they know someone in the area.
Yeah.
If you have a
Connected.
vet,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a good too. And good old Google. I have a lot of clients reach out to me from Google, Googling the closest dog trainer near you. So that would work as well. So those are some of the ways you can find a trainer. I know a lot of people do reach out to me on Facebook as well. So some of your local community groups, if you see posts in there, I know I post a lot in groups, just letting, getting some topics and information out there about dog behavior. So looking at your local Facebook groups, Instagram, that's beneficial as well. Um, Scott, when you reached out for a trainer, you said you looked for positive reinforcement. What do you think it was about the trainer that made you say, aha, this is the one?
It's interesting. When we first did the puppy training, we didn't really know any difference. And then we
Mm-hmm.
started to learn about her style. And then we started to look for other training for as we got older. And then we
Mm-hmm.
started to, and especially I think more so when we just had to correct his reactivity. And that's when we wanted a solution. And then
Yep.
it's a harder challenge. So that's when you start to contemplate, do I want stricter training? Do I want like
Mm-hmm.
prong collar training? Like, I just want to solve this reactivity, right? So
Exactly.
then it's almost, puppy stage is one thing, but when you have an issue you really have to try and take care of, that's when you hit a crossroads as to what type of training do you really want. And I think
Mm-hmm.
for us it was, yeah, there might be super like dominant training and prong collar training, but we wanted to do something where we can build the relationship with him and enjoy our life with him, where it's not always like drill
Mm-hmm.
sergeant times with him and that sort of thing. And
Yep.
so that's
Exactly.
right, that's what we
Exactly.
did. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep. And going back to the different training styles, think about the type of training you want, because there are different type of training. And when I sit down and meet with my clients in initial consultation, one of the things I try to figure out is their lifestyle.
Yeah.
So the different type of training there's in-home training, where a trainer like myself will come out to your home, and each week we'll work with the dog and the family and kind of do training that way in your home. There's also day training, where you take your dog to a facility or to an organization and you drop them off for the day and you pick them up. And I would say those are more so for like busy families who
Yeah.
just mean, they want the best for their dog, but they may not have time. So day training, which, it does the same day training. It's the same thing. It's not the same as in-home training, but you go through the training, but it's done during the daytime, and it is progressive and daily. So the training goes along a lot faster. So
Yeah.
even if you want in-home, but you're thinking, I kind of want to speed it up a little bit, you can do day training to kind of speed that up, because it's more
Yeah.
daily every day, for 4 hours out the day.
Yeah.
And there's also board and train, where you take your dog to a place, you drop them off for like 2 weeks, they do the training, in and they transfer that over to you. So with that being said, think about, what you actually want for your dog and far as training. And if you don't know, it's okay to call a trainer like myself who do in-home training and some day training and say, hey, I really don't know, can you help me out? And a trainer should be able to help you through that process if you're unsure. But just, knowing ahead of time the different styles, so you kind of have like a sense of, what your dog may need or what you may want.
You want to have a baseline too, right? I find it's helpful with anything to do your research first. So then when you talk to a trainer, you can also, you have a baseline knowledge, and then you can tell, are they on point or are they kind of like, BSing you a little bit or whatnot. And that's so
exactly.
Do a bit of Googling, do a bit of research in your local Facebook, like dog and animal groups, and just see what's there, and ask people. And okay, in Facebook groups, you're probably going to get a ton of different answers in the comments.
Exactly. But, and Google them too, and search through. Yeah.
Look it up, right? And I think if you have that baseline knowledge, when you do call a trainer for help, and if they can help you, and if their style matches you, then it works well. If not, ideally, they'll tell you, hey, this might not work. Maybe you're suited best or better for this, your lifestyle. Because like you said, it's lifestyle driven, right? So it really depends on that and what you want with your dog and the training. But
and also training is an investment. But just like I tell folks, as far as the investment, it's only for a short while. I always say that the training, invest now so you're not investing later, and even more training because the problem's unresolved. So, at least, and I tell folks too, at least if you kind of think about, I don't know if my dog needs training, at least reach out to the trainer. And I always tell folks who call me, if you're uncertain, allow me to come out to your home, do the consultation, allow me to meet your dog, assess the family, learn more about your dog's problem, and, kind of explain to you what's going on so that, you can decide whether this is great for you. So just, at least if you speak with someone, you'll know what's going on. You'll know how to approach it. You'll have it all written up. Well, my consultations, I usually write them up and give them so they'll have it to kind of look over. And so that you'll have that information. So in the future, if you do want to reach out to a trainer, you know.
One thing I would say is, I know when we first got our dog, we tried to learn because he wasn't old enough for training. And we tried to learn off YouTube and everything. And it is a mess. So it's like, one thing I've learned is, like, whether it's fitness, whether it's dog training, it's like, it really helps to have a coach, because you get to lean into all their experience, where they were with so many dogs, however many years, you get to lean into their experience. So you get your results, you learn how to do things a lot quicker, because you're not figuring out, like the trainers, they can now guide you. It's so much easier. You have all their experience. You can ask questions. It's not like you can't ask YouTube questions. So like,
no, exactly. And I always tell folks, you're absolutely right about, it's like a hot mess going through like Google and YouTube and finding out information, because there's so much stuff out there. And, I always tell folks, one thing I hear from my clients, like, well, my friend down the street said I should do this, do that, or they had a trainer, my trainer said this and that. And I always tell them, that may work best for their dog. May work best for your dog and your family. Not saying that what your friends are telling you is wrong, but that's, when their trainer came up, that's what works for their dog. And a lot of times when, families hear that, they're like, oh, that makes me feel a lot better, because I thought my dog was doing something wrong. So with that being said, have the trainer come out, assess your dog. And I would say, don't let your friends guilt trip you into thinking you're doing something wrong. If doubt, ask a trainer and reach out to one. At
the very least, ask that question, or like reach out. Most trainers will answer a few questions, and they're happy to help out, even with the basic stuff, right? So.
Exactly. And take notes. Take notes when you talk to the trainer. Write down questions before you call a trainer, because I know a lot of times you get on the phone, you start talking about your dog and the problems, but a lot of times when you reach out to the trainer, what we want to know is your goals for your dog, what you've tried with your dog, and what you hope to see in the future. So with us knowing that, before we even get out to you, we can kind of, okay, this is what they need, kind of get a little plan in place, and we come out to you, it is already set, and we can kind of discuss your needs moving forward. So but I hope you guys got a lot out of these tips as far as how to find a trainer. And if you guys are looking for a trainer, I'm always on Facebook, Instagram. You can reach out to me at downforpaws.com. I'm always happy to answer questions. And you can always go to my website, do an intro call, chat a little bit. And, if you need a consultation for me to come out, I can do that as well. But hopefully you guys are able to use this information to find a trainer near you. And
Yeah.
in addition, a lot of folks, as myself, are doing virtual training. So it doesn't even have to be a trainer near you. If you're open to virtual training, that's a whole nother topic we'll talk about, which is just as effective. You can do that as well. So just keep, your mind open, and, as to that, you can do virtual training as well, essentially.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So I will see you guys next week, and I hope you enjoy searching for a trainer.
Yes. Okay. We'll see you guys. Take care.
All right. Bye.